9 signs a man isn't an entirely good person, according to psychology. There's a lot of debate about what makes a person good or bad. However, psychology provides some insights that can help us identify not-so-good characteristics in people, especially in men. Understanding these signs is like having a secret decoder ring for human behavior, and it's not about judging people, but about understanding their actions and intentions better. In this video, I'll share with you 9 signs backed by psychology that may suggest a man isn't entirely a good person. Let's dive into the nuances of human character and see what we can uncover. 1. Lack of empathy. A pillar of human connection is our ability to empathize, to understand and share the feelings of others. It's what separates us from most animals and connects us on a deep emotional level. However, not all people display this characteristic as strongly as others. According to psychology, a clear sign that a man may not be entirely good is a consistent lack of empathy. When someone struggles to understand or simply disregards the feelings of others, it can be a red flag. It shows a lack of concern for other people's experiences and emotions. Keep an eye out for this trait. If a man routinely dismisses the feelings of others or seems indifferent to their pain or joy, it might be a sign he's not as good as he initially appears. 1. Consistent dishonesty. Truthfulness is a fundamental aspect of any relationship, be it personal or professional. Yet some people seem to have a knack for bending the truth, and not in a good way. In psychology, habitual lying is often seen as a sign of a not-so-good character. If a man frequently lies, even about inconsequential things, it may suggest he isn't entirely good. Let me share an example from my own life. I once knew a guy who seemed charming and friendly, but over time I began to notice inconsistencies in his stories. Things he said about his past job didn't add up, and the details of his personal life were always changing. Eventually I realized that he had a habit of lying to make himself look better or to avoid awkward conversations. This consistent dishonesty was a clear sign that he might not be the person I initially thought he was. Remember, everyone tells small white lies from time to time, but when dishonesty becomes a habit, it's time to reconsider the character of the person involved. 1. Arrogance and entitlement. Arrogance and a sense of entitlement are traits that can often be seen in people that psychology suggests may not be entirely good. A man who consistently believes he is superior to others and deserves more than he earns or is given might not have the best character. In fact, researchers have found a strong link between narcissism, which includes traits of arrogance and entitlement and aggressive behavior. This study suggests that people who display these traits are more likely to act out violently or aggressively when they don't get what they feel they're entitled to. So, if you notice a man who always puts himself above others or feels the world owes him something, take heed. These are signs that he might not be as good a person as you first thought. 1. Absence of remorse. We all make mistakes, it's part of being human. But the way we respond to our mistakes can tell a lot about our character. A man who consistently does wrong and shows no remorse or guilt for his actions might not be entirely good. This absence of remorse can indicate a lack of conscience, which is a significant red flag according to psychology. If a man hurts someone's feelings, behaves badly, or makes a serious mistake but doesn't seem to feel any guilt or show any desire to make amends, this could be a sign of deeper character flaws. 1. Manipulative behavior. Manipulation is a trait that can be quite damaging in any relationship. If a man consistently manipulates others to get what he wants, it's a clear sign that he might not be an entirely good person. Manipulative behavior can take many forms, from subtle emotional blackmail to blatant lies and deceit. It's all about control and getting one's way, often at the expense of others. A man who uses manipulation to gain power or advantage is showing disregard for the feelings and autonomy of others. This lack of respect for others' boundaries is a clear indication of character flaws, so always keep an eye out for manipulative tactics. Recognizing them can help us make better decisions about who we allow into our lives. 1. Lack of responsibility. Taking responsibility for our actions, particularly our mistakes, is no easy feat. It requires a sense of humility and maturity that not everyone possesses. A man who constantly shirks responsibility or places blame on others might not be an entirely good person. If he can't own up to his mistakes and instead deflects or points fingers, it suggests a lack of character and integrity. It's heartbreaking to see someone you care about refuse to take responsibility for their actions. It's a barrier to personal growth and can cause damage in relationships. In fact, taking responsibility is one of the life lessons shared by Justin Brown in his video below. Well worth checking out. 1. Frequent anger or aggression. We all experience anger from time to time. It's a normal human emotion. But when anger becomes frequent and aggressive, it can be a sign of a deeper issue. A man who consistently responds with anger or aggression, even in minor situations, might not be an entirely good person. This can indicate a lack of emotional control and possibly deeper psychological issues. I remember once being around someone who had a short fuse. The smallest things could set him off. It was as if he was always on the edge, ready to explode at any moment. This constant state of anger and aggression made it difficult for those around him, including me, to feel safe and comfortable. Frequent anger and aggression are not healthy behaviors and can be indicative of deeper character flaws. It's important to recognize this for what it is and consider the impact it may have on relationships and personal well-being. 1. Disrespect towards boundaries. Respect for personal boundaries is crucial in maintaining healthy relationships. Everyone has their own comfort zone and personal space that need to be acknowledged and respected. If a man consistently disregards or disrespects these boundaries, it can be a sign that he isn't an entirely good person. This could range from not respecting your time and personal space to disregarding your feelings or wishes. Disrespect of boundaries shows a lack of understanding and empathy towards others. It's a clear sign of a lack of respect, which is a fundamental pillar of any relationship. So, if you notice a man who repeatedly crosses the line or ignores your boundaries even after you've communicated them clearly, this could be indicative of deeper character flaws. 1. Self-centeredness. At the heart of many character flaws lies one common trait: self-centeredness. A man who consistently puts his own needs and wants before others, without consideration for their feelings or well-being, might not be an entirely good person. Self-centeredness can manifest in many ways, from always steering the conversation back to oneself to making decisions that benefit him without considering the impact on others. This trait can be damaging in relationships and is indicative of a lack of empathy and understanding. Lastly, a key part of being a good person is the ability to step outside of ourselves to consider and value others. This is something a self-centered individual often struggles with. Remember, these signs help us understand, not judge. Stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we'll discuss about feeling trapped by your own thoughts.